Do we all have to record? Or
Yeah, I think anyone that wants to win should be recording. Or be a candidate, I guess.
so recording?
Is everyone able to speak and hear and everything?
I think so.
And D. Filippi, we cannot. I think you're on mute. We cannot hear you. Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, I hear you. Yep.
Yeah, we don't hear
Yep.
you. There you go.
All right.
Nice.
Well, I'll start if you want. My name is Mark Stair. I'm with Tippet.io. We provide a tipping bot on Telegram, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, GitHub, and Tippet.io. We've been with the EOS community since launch. And I'll just do that quick introduction so we can make sure everyone's audio and everything's working if it's okay with you guys.
Awesome. I'm Dwayne Philippi. Been with CSX since EOS launch and launched Crown DAC and been engaged with DACs and DAOs. And yeah, excited to join you guys today.
I'll go. So my name's Elias. I go by Elias Asphalt-Kirby. You know, I've been around with the OS since the beginning, also more of a lurker. I have a website called eosvoters.com. Used to be active back in the days, not as much now. And I am also a candidate, running as a candidate.
Great. My name's Aaron Meyer, and that I'm not a candidate, and that I'm just been involved with EOS, you know, just as a user and investor for about 15 months. And but I'm very interested in like the decentralization and governance. So that's why I started getting, I'm, you know, pretty much new to Eden. So I'm still kind of learning things and stuff. So, but it's very nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
So I don't know if you guys are on the Google Sheet. I wrote everybody's name. Probably have to make sure that it's correct in there. It looks like the paste is for the whole group and not just the breakout room. So we're going to paste it in there.
Good to meet. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, looks good.
Got a quiet group here.
So Mark, I've seen your name a lot. I've heard about that crown. So you
Yeah,
guys are a
same
little bit,
here.
I think, yeah. I think.
I was going to throw my name in as a candidate, but I'm just going to pitch a different project, just a project that we've used before, and maybe I'll just paste the link in the chat here. It's Consortium, and Vlad is the developer on it, and it's just been a really nice app. We've just been a participant as Crown, and it's been a nice way for us to get polling results and votes on chain. It's just been a way for our community to engage. So I'll just do a quick intro so it's not confused that I'm doing anything with Crown or with DAX or anything. So so you guys can take a look at that.
So what is the nutshell of this? Is this consortium? Yeah.
Yeah, so any community can join consortium, and you can put in as many tokens if you have your native token into consortium. And the more engagement that people have, you get rewarded in that base token. And the gamification of it is govern is consortium's base token. So you do need to go to the market or be gifted some govern to put up a poll. And then they have a little leaderboard at the top that if you actually answer some polls or are engaged, that you get some govern back. And it hasn't really been a huge DeFi moneymaker or anything like that. No one's getting rich off of the tokens that you're getting. But we thought maybe this would be some way to engage Eden members, and that we'd all throw in, all the different communities would throw in some tokens to maybe get a little bit more engagement. So I don't think it's the be all end all to get other people to, I don't think a lot of people are going to really just join Eden to go try and gamify consortium to get a lot of money. But it was just that first little step. I thought maybe it'd be useful to have consortium up so we can kind of have that secondary on-chain voting mechanisms. And yeah, that was about it. It was kind of the low-hanging fruit that we've worked with Vlad. We trust him as a developer. We're not associated with him in any other way. That we're just one of the communities that have used his app. And we've run Dackathons before where we had to pick winners. We had kind of a decentralized conferences where we'd all get together in a conference and throw some money in the hat, not knowing what we were going to do, and do a project. So it was very interactive. And at the end of the project, or many projects, we'd have to vote on whose project gets the pot of money. And we've used Vlad's software to do that. Kind of nice that it was on chain. And there's a chance that it could be gamified, that it maybe would bring some more interest to Eden. But, truthfully, it's not, like I said, right now, no one's getting rich off these govern token. But we wanted to find, the reason why we wanted to do this is wanted to find a way to incentivize and give more tokens to Eden members. Like, how do we give something else? How do we add some little bit of value add? And then just the application itself on using it for voting, we thought, hey, that might be useful outside of this very structured in-person Zoom meeting stuff. Maybe we can get a pulse of the community, a way to interact.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you would like to get some funding for that project? Is that the objective?
Yeah, I think we'd throw half the if it went through, we'd throw half the money at Vlad for his time to add on Eden and add on these communities, so that you get a whole host of different tokens, and then the other half for incentives. So we'd throw in maybe some EOS, the rest of it in EOS, so that anyone in the Eden community could use this and engage people, and that there'd be a pot of EOS there as well.
And I'm trying to remember who Vlad is. What other projects is he associated, or how would I know him?
Good question. I only know him through Consortium.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was really good at kind of customizing this for our Dackathons. We wanted to, instead of a weighted vote, because you can go buy a bunch of govern tokens usually and use that as your weight to vote on. He customized it in short order where we were allowed just to use one token. Yeah, so I've just been able to see that he's come through for us and making this work for our applications. And yeah, we're just trying to think of something that already existed, something that was relatively simple to use. So, and we did induct Vlad to Eden as well, so he's an Eden member. And I didn't tell Vlad that I was putting up his project.
I'm sure he won't mind if he gets some money. Yeah.
Yeah. Pleasant surprise.
Full disclosure though, I work with in CSX as a block producer. One of the people that work with me is Max Infield, and we just kind of brainstormed this quick, and we both decided to put up this project. So whatever group Max is in, he's going to be pitching the same sort of exactly the same project.
Um, I'm sorry, I forgot your first name.
Dwayne.
Dwayne. Can you tell us more about EOS? I mean, that crown. I've heard the name, but just
sure. Yeah, Crown was just an experiment to utilize to kind of. I came into EOS for the governance and to see if I could use governance for our real world cooperatives and businesses. And Crown was the second DAC after EOS DAC on EOS mainnet. And we didn't, a lot of people were like, hey, you guys don't have a really good use case for your Crown. You're not going to be able to pump this token up. And it wasn't our use case. It was really just to experiment and put ourselves out there to see if the DAC software was usable. One of the main things, Mark, is we used not your tip bot, but the most usability was having Saeed's tip bot in Telegram and just tipping out Crown. We ended up having a lot of communities from the Philippines, from Turkey, and a lot of people were just volunteering to be active in the Telegram. So we started having worker proposals and using the DAC software to elect custodians. You needed a whole bunch of Crown to become a custodian, and then anybody that had Crown could vote you in. And our election cycle was every 7 days. And it was our job then to give out worker proposals and money to the rest of anybody that would make a proposal. So one of the successful projects was just translating everything we did. So I think we had about 12 different languages that were translated. We did worker proposals for these DACathons. So we've had a DACathon probably about twice a year for the last 2.5 years. And not a lot of other uses to use Crown as for functions or to buy stuff, but more of a giving community. And for some reason, I guess people just wanted to support us. We were on Nudex, so the price has kind of never really been high, but it's been enough that people that did get these worker proposals got a little bit of money out of it. And it was successful in showing that, hey, we were able to use DAC software, used EOS's DAC software, and then graduated to using their DAC factory software. Right now, it's not really supported. Our DAC friends went off to Alien Worlds, which is super exciting because we all found that this was good to show and demonstrate what DACs were about. But the gamification of having that DAC within a game, that it's kind of the end little prize to show people you need to cooperate in this game and learn about a DAC, seems to be way more successful. We've onboarded a lot of people that have learned about DAC, showing why would you want to spread out the risk of an account and have a multi-sig with multiple people on it. So we have had real world businesses kind of understand single points of failures with accounts and why, if you have a small group or a bigger group, why a DAC would be useful. So I think it's been successful in our eyes. We've had a lot of fun. And I guess, luckily it got us involved in Alien Worlds in the beginning, which not only was nice because it was profitable getting into NFTs and all that fun stuff, but seeing that, I'm going up for election to be I guess they call it a candidate, or no, a counselor for one of the Alien Worlds worlds. So just really neat to see how that's all going to play out. And a lot of smart guys, Michael Yates and that crew, Cero, just showing that they've made a really nice scaffolding and base layer to really that we'll be able to use in the real world using Alien Worlds. So if you haven't checked it out, you might be surprised that it's nothing more than pressing a button to mine But if you check it out a little bit more, I just know that we'll be running real businesses based on kind of their use of the DAX software and how they've really made that game successful. Also successful that it's been multi-chain, allowing you to take your wax and bridge it over to Binance chain and having a lot of liquidity. Other successes allowing Ethereum people to come in and get into the game with Ethereum. So a lot of really neat things there. If you haven't checked it out, like first glance, you might go, this doesn't seem that interesting, just pressing money to mine some Trillium, but the gamification on the DAC part and electing people to planets and stuff seems, well, at least for myself, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, all the projects that have been built over the years on EOS, and you don't have to apologize for it not taking off or anything, because that was kind of the case for a lot of projects. So hopefully with Eden and maybe Bullish and stuff, that the whole community can take off and bring more health and wealth into the ecosystem would be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Eli, you have what would you like to say?
Yeah, I could go next. So no, I didn't know about Alien World, so I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
Been a little bit gone from the crypto world the last 7-8 months, but I'm gonna try to get back. So yeah, my name's Elias, Eli. Got a little right up here. So I'm in development and insurance here in Michigan. Similar story to a lot of people in the EOS world. Bitcoin, Ripple, Steemit, and Steemit is kind of where I just woke up to the power of crypto, like there's some big transactions, but possibility of these cheaper microtransactions and what you could do with them. And a different application other than money. So that was pretty cool. And of course, EOS after that. Beginning of EOS, the EOS Gov, I think I've seen some, Marcus, you there, everybody there. It was painful. So one thing I thought when the EOS arbitration stuff was coming up is I thought, all right, this is a circular argument that we just keep arguing the same things over and over. So I thought I'm going to start a website to break it down, the ECAF arbitration forum stuff. So that's when I started EOSvoters.com. The stuff I did, the notes I took on that are gone. There is some good stuff. I kept talking to the guy that came up with that idea, Sun Tzu, back then. After that, I thought about, all right, we need something to kind of simplify how BPs, memory for tracking if BPs are good or bad, right? Because the stuff we do in the OS is kind of this Telegram, some live events, and then there's no real memory. So I love this EOS community forum. You could search stuff, which doesn't really exist in Telegram. That's hard to do. That was the idea. I never really built up that much for the EOSvoters.com, but I think that's still, yeah, so I'm loving Eden and what's happening here. And the ironic thing about EOS is that it's so decentralized, that it's so scattered, unlike some of these other projects where they're really centralized and they've got centralized marketing campaigns happening. And like the way Link shot up, that's a very centralized organization for great marketing campaign. I'm not saying their morals are great, but just their implementation was great. So yeah, I'm glad this even is happening, and I'm definitely hoping the best for it. So my candidacy, the reason I'm running for candidacy and what I would do with the funds are to use it towards publicity for EOS. And the way I would do that is specifically is to don't break up. So you guys seen the EOS memes channel that Rec Kid kind of runs? I thought those are brilliant. There used to be some BPs that donated, EOS Nation donated to a few of those. I don't know, they used to donate 200 EOS. It was a lot of money actually per meme campaign. And then 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, whoever gets the most votes on Twitter gets the money for that meme. I was blown away by that idea. So what I would do is break up the 2,000 EOS into, for example, 20 different campaigns and theme them into specific themes. Something like EOS is not decentralized, or EOS is more decentralized than Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously Ripple, just to kind of hit, so to do outreach campaigns with themes. So that's what I would use that for, and specifically through the EOS meme records. That's his thing, through his channel that he runs. That's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions? Or, let me know.
Thanks.
Yep.
I guess I can go next. So like I mentioned, I'm with tippet.io. We have 2 developers, and we're fully self-funded. We really haven't earned any money from Tippet, so it's mostly like a gifting type system. We support 70 different tokens. We're on EOS, Telos, and Wax chain now. We just added Wax recently. And so a good thing about that is we get to work with a lot of the token administrators for those projects, because we like to check them out and see what they're all about and make sure they're legitimate, things like that, before we add them to Tippet. And right now we're working on some really cool things. The idea about Tippet is because you're connected with your social platforms, it is a way to sort of build an identity across your social platforms and your Tippet account, and eventually also an EOS account, let's say, and that kind of thing. And we have plans to go, or we're currently developing around NFTs. So people through that mechanism could create their own NFTs real simply, because we even think atomic assets, although we'll be using that system, it's a little too complicated for most people. So we would like to make that very easy, so people could, have their art uploaded and then shared on the social through Tippet. You could buy it right through tipping on that, whether you're on Twitter, Telegram, or any of those. And so that's our focus now. It's kind of a twofold thing. One is get into NFTs, and then also longer term, when the market is ready, to get into or help out projects that are getting into identity. I think identity is really important. Like you see that with Eden, you have to be a real person and things like that. And that's really the reason I really like EOS specifically, is I'm not only interested in the decentralization, but to me, the governance is where it's got to be. We need a better governance system than we have, like US two-party election is a bunch of crap. So we need a new way to look at that. And just over my years of studying different social, economic, and everything, I was always frustrated because I never could see a solution until EOS came about. And finally, I could see where if you could have the governance and the money together in one kind of cohesive system, that we could really make advancements and do things that will help the whole Earth basically. And that's I look at it as a long road, and that's why we never really released a token. We wanted to wait until the right market situation, the right timing of that. And it still isn't quite there yet, but maybe with our efforts through Eden, we can get there. And in terms of funding, we don't need that much money for the tippet. We continue to self-fund it. But I think a little bit would go towards that. And then I would just open it up to anyone that wanted funding and could pitch it, whether it's through the marketing efforts Eli was talking about, development efforts. I think there's a lot out there in development, as you've seen from Dwayne and this kind of thing. A lot of foundational elements are out there. Now we just need to build the trust of the community and build up the awareness and things like that. The fact that ADA Cardano is higher market cap than EOS is just ridiculous. When we've got more transactions, smart contracts, multiple chains, and so on. And it's because they keep just pitching it, so and get the community, the community of ADA really loves the Cardano community. So we need to bring that back again, and whatever way we could get there for them, I'd be up for it. Any questions for me?
Yeah, I'm super excited about the NFT space, and to hear your integration to bring NFTs to the same methodology of your tippet. Keep it really simple, have another avenue for people to come on and buy them and share. Sign me up, take my money. I'm excited. That's great.
We've built a lot of things on Tippet that a lot of people aren't even aware of. One is called rewards. So from Twitter, you could actually just create a reward system, and we post the tweet for you and then monitor that. And you could basically you could tweet something and reward everyone with your NFTs. So when we get that built out, so yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, besides this election and stuff, I'll be contacting you. That sounds great. We like community engagement and rewards and all of that. So anything we can do to help that out. I think, Eli, the overall, if I was to see what we could do as Eden members as a whole, it's all about marketing, right? If you look at Ethereum and owning Cointelegraph and all the other publications, we can point fingers and look at the past of what hasn't been done. Well, now it's our turn to shine, and if we're all here, we kind of know that the system is robust enough, and it has a lot of other features that these other chains don't have. So that would be the decentralized route. It'd be every single person that gets money could put money in a different avenue to do this, but then even hopefully more centralized, in a sense that we have a concerted effort of how we take that role on of just continuously pitching this. And I think the bullish news coming out and utilizing EOS will definitely help. And a lot of those armchair investors are only about price. That's going to help out, but getting this to the people of why maybe some of us have joined, of actually using it right for business or for real world applications. And we've saw firsthand on bot armies and putting a lot of effort into rewarding non-humans, and how we could get around that. So we've faced it, all these games face it. So we're going down a path of maybe doing some avatar stuff as well, and just seeing how having this verification layer of Eden itself is going to help a lot of businesses and applications. So if we can just get the word out in marketing. So I totally, I back the engagement and back marketing even more than the voting platform and consortium. To be honest, it's the right path. If we can keep on hammering that, let's face it, it's a win-win-win from all the parties, whether it's block one, block producers. We need that, also an independent looking firm, almost like, the Ethereum guys, or, some other publication that keeps on pumping continuously the use cases and the success cases, because most of us in this space, we're so deep in the woods, we don't even know of half the projects that are even utilizing EOS, right? So, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Emerald, how did you make your way into EOS? Emerald or Emerald?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I actually just kind of stumbled on it, and that I was, into like Bitcoin obviously first, and then, started exploring more altcoins and stuff like that. And yeah, I just kind of started playing around with EOS, and like I remember buying some EOS on Coinbase and sending it to my wallet to use, and just being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do something while this is processing. And before I could even stand up, to do something else, it was like it already arrived, and I was like, wow, that's fast. And I was, I didn't really have much experience in crypto, so I was like, just kind of blew my mind, and I was like, wow. And then as I started kind of getting more in, learning the different dApps and, put a little money here and there, I just really fell in love with it. And so, but I have no technical background. I don't have any kind of development background. So, like I said, I kind of joined, Eden and that recently, and that just to kind of, because I feel like I've only barely scratched the surface of everything that's going on in the EOS space. And but I really, really impressed with a lot of the things that, all of a sudden it's like I just find out something new that's been going on for how long, and it's like, oh, okay, I should get involved in this, and I should get involved in this. So I'm just trying to basically, expand my knowledge base, get more into the weeds of, and all the different aspects of it. And, like I said, I'm big into decentralization, governance, and making sure that, people are steering the ship in the right direction, basically. And I think, we need more, especially too with like after EOS, I kind of dabbled in Tron a little bit, and I got burnt on some scams there. And so, to me, it's the trust factor, and like I said, and like having principled people who working behind the scenes is important. And I consider myself amongst that, so that's kind of why I feel like I should get more involved, and make sure that because like one thing I've noticed, like people that I know who are heavily invested in other, especially like Ethereum and stuff, it's just kind of, they have a kind of a they look down on EOS, and so I think it's like I said, I love it, and I think other people would if they got more into it, and so that's kind of my kind of thing. Like, yeah, helping the image, because I think it's, you know, it seems like it's been kind of tarnished, and people kind of gave up on it, and I think that's premature.
Yeah.
So I don't know what our time is, but you guys want to throw out any votes?
Mm.
Our 50
So
minutes, maybe.
I do have some questions for you, Mark, too. Maybe some more, but I don't know if time is up, but
Go ahead.
for Tippet, how would that work with the Twitter? So
So yeah, you just refer to Tippet bot.
Yeah.
At Tippet bot, and then you do the amount of token you want, let's say 4 EOS, and then you do 4 EOS, and then whatever message, and then that message goes on chain forever, basically, you know. So in Telegram, it's a little easier because you just reply to somebody and just say .tip for EOS or something like that, and a message. So we try to keep it really simple for that. The rewards system is sort of automatic. You do that on our website, and it posts a tweet, and then anyone that likes, comments, or retweets gets a token, or whatever number of tokens that you designate.
where is that? How does one see that in? So I've seen your name. I just haven't, to tell you the truth, I haven't used it, but I've seen it around, I think before EOS even, right?
Yeah, maybe after this meeting, I'll send you some tips. What's your Twitter account?
Twitter is EOS voters.
EOS voters.
Yeah, around.
Okay, I'll look for you there. And you'll see I'll reply to one of your tweets, and then you'll get the tip.
Okay, very cool. And can one see like who's getting the most tips or something like that? Is that visible somewhere?
Well, it's all on the blockchain. We haven't done any like dashboarding or anything like that, but anytime we want to get that data, we can just query that.
Yeah.
We found out we had a big following in Africa early on.
Yeah.
Because a project called Trios, and it was interesting when I looked at that data. There was this really quiet guy on Discord that had the most tips.
Yeah.
I didn't really even know him. Like, why do you tip? And he says, "Oh, it just makes me smile." And
Yeah.
it's really, yeah,
That's pretty cool.
really heartwarming.
I always kind of wonder for that EOS meme stuff that Rekid does, how, you know, he's got to go to and count everything. I think that's what I don't know who he is, man, but he does so much for the community. I feel like outreach wise and Twitter.
You talk about Kurt.
I don't know his real name.
Okay.
Yeah, I just know him as Rekid, the guy on the EOS Prize channel.
Yeah, okay.
That seems like something that could be usable there if there was like a dashboard.
Yep.
Because you're already putting it on chain even, so that's like.
I sometimes use TippetBot just to like record some tweet that somebody did, and then it puts the link to the tweet and stuff, and it goes on chain, so it'll be out there forever.
Is it the Tippet on Twitter? That's going to be, how is that going to be like similar? I know, like, is it Voice that's coming out with kind of the same thing? Like, it's going to be like a social network where you can create like an NFT of your tweet, or not tweet, but you know, your post or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Okay. We haven't thought of that one yet. That's possible. Mostly we were thinking of creators creating have a really easy way to create NFTs from their music, art, whatever, and then have a way to distribute that to people really easily. Like, in fact, they probably won't even know it's on EOS or something, or WAPs, whatever. So
Oh, okay.
we just, you know, just like you don't know we're running on TCP/IP now. It doesn't matter that blockchain's underneath, just that it's secure, you know, fast, and all those other things that meet the needs, I think.
Okay.
So what's next for Tippet? How come you didn't make a dashboard? I'm surprised. Like, there's no who's getting the most tips.
Well, like I said, we're self-funded. We do what we like to do, and if someone wants to pay us to do something, we'll gladly do it.
Yeah.
But when you're self-funded, you do what you can.
Yeah.
So if you were funded, what would you do specifically?
Yeah, I'd be all over this NFTs and identity. I'd be like trying to create a real easy way for people, the creatives, to make money from their creative work, and without complexity, as simple as possible. And I'd figure out a way to move towards an identity solution on EOS. Probably want to work with other teams out there, rather than just a Tippet team for that. So we got some kind of group effort for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it said, you know, I was assuming voice was gonna be, since they were gonna do the verification, that would be the identity, even though they're proprietary, that would have been the identity solution.
Our view was we didn't want to create a social network. I'm already like full of social networks. You know, I got social network overload. I just wanted
Yeah.
to bolt the EOS onto those networks.
So Mark, I mean, when you say identity and NFT, very cool. But like, what specifically? Because 2000 is actually not that much EOS. I don't know if you know. I know you're self-driven, so it's just. But what specifically would you be able to do with 2000?
Well, what I thought was I just wanted to give a token amount to Tippet team, so maybe 10% of that or something like that. But really, I want Tippet can't be successful unless the whole ecosystem is successful. So and it's not there yet. So we need to build up the EOS, bring back the heart of EOS that we used to have, I feel, and lost. And it's through marketing and through development efforts and things like that. So my thought was that I would just open up to people looking for a little bit of funding and basically pitch as if this is like a VC fund, and different projects could pitch. I want to do this or that. I want to do that, and then we would fund that those specific things on sort of a real-time basis on what's needed at this point in time. That's it's kind of loose, but that's what I was kind of thinking about.
I'm just wishing, yeah. So it is all on chain. One just has to kind of search, probably at Tippet to find out who is getting tipped. But would they be able to know what published item was tipped? Is that on chain? I don't know if, so
Yep.
that is on chain also.
Yep.
So there's a URL too.
The link to the tweet you're replying to, let's say, is on chain, and that message as well. Yeah.
from blocks.io to check that out.
11:11.
Yee. All right. That's it. It sounds like some of you were still probably going at it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Okay.
The 50 minutes, right? It's to kind of force a little urgency here to reach consensus. So please go ahead, go to the voting doc. I can put the link again. I've been granting everybody permission that has shown up, and I'll keep a good watch on it, obviously.
Dominic, did you get any feedback from people who said they got booted partway through or something?
I didn't see any of that. Booted during.
Yeah, Patrick from Nova Crypto was mentioning
Oh.
that. Randall Roland, yeah. Oh, maybe he's just got booted now though.
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
sure
everybody
about
got
my recording. Dominic, I think, do I need to leave this meeting to get
Yeah.
the Zoom
Yeah. So I'm
recording?
gonna have to. Yeah. So I'll open it back up. Yes, because you usually have to leave. Let it download. You know?
Okay, I'll do
Yeah.
that.
So
Thanks.
I unlock the meeting. People can come back.
So I think I'll do that as well, right? To be able to record it the next round.
Well, you got to. Well, you got to leave if you just recorded.